look forward to another year of In the Trenches presented by First Star Logistics, but we wanted to give you some big news. This season, you'll find our interviews and Keys to Bengals Victory on In the Trenches in the First Star Media Group YouTube channel, along with our growing team of Joe Goodberry's Bengals on the Brain and Malik Wright's State of the Jungle. Also, the great folks at First Star Logistics have big plans this season with special giveaways each week the Bengals play. So be sure to visit both channels and our social media pages to stay updated on all giveaways and the latest news on the Bengals. So be sure to subscribe to the First Star Media Group YouTube channel, as after this season, it'll become the channel that will host all our content. Time for Keys to the Game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, traveling to Paycor Stadium to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Big deal in this football game. Be aggressive. Stay aggressive. Play to win. Don't play not to lose. I think a great example of it, when Joe Burrow was down, Jake Browning comes in the very first snap from their own 25-yard line. They come in with a big package, a big power run package, two tight ends next to each other at the line of scrimmage, unbalanced line look. Jake Browning's under center, thinking, oh, backup quarterback, she's going to run the football, under center. Play action fake, naked bootleg, run a zone, inside zone to the right side, bootleg to the left. Jake Browning go against the flow. He's out there. Defensive end does a pretty good job to contain. Little jump pass, drops the arm, slot down, sidearm throw. Trenton Irwin, 12-yard reception. Message sent. Offense, we're going to stay aggressive. Baltimore defense, we're going to stay aggressive. That's how it has to be against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Don't pull in your horn. Stay aggressive. Play to win the game. Don't play not to lose. With that said, you don't want to turn the football over. This football game is a division slobber knocker, and it's going to. Those are usually decided by turnovers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 19 takeaways, tied for second most in the NFL. The Bengals have 18 takeaways, tied for sixth most. Both teams have only given the ball away 8 times, tied for best in the National Football League. Steelers are plus 11 in the turnover ratio, best in the league. Bengals are plus 10, tied for second best in the league. Fumbles is what kills me. First, the interceptions. The Cincinnati Bengals have 12 interceptions, tied for third most in the NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers have 11 interceptions, tied for fourth most in the NFL. The Bengals have only thrown 5, I should say, tied for 6th fewest in the NFL. Steelers have thrown 6, tied for 6th fewest in the NFL. So we're seeing similarities here. They hold on to the football and they take the football away. Pittsburgh's fumble numbers are nuts. Pittsburgh has only put the ball on the ground 7 times offensively, tied for 4th fewest in the league. They've only lost 2. The Bengals have only put the ball on the ground 6 times offensively, tied for 2nd fewest in the league. They've only lost 2. 2 fumbles lost is tied for fewest in the National Football League. But look at the Steelers defensively. They forced 18 fumbles, tied for second most. They've recovered 8, tied for 5th most. So plus 11 on fumbles they've caused and fumbles that they've spit up, that plus 11 fumble ratio is the best in the NFL. And plus 6 ratio, they've recovered 8 and they've only lost 2. That's best in the NFL. So I'm saying ball security, turnovers are going to be massive in this football game. Who's going to do a better job of holding on to the football? Run game is going to be big. The Pittsburgh Steelers have 2 running backs that are in the top 25 in the National Football League. They're only 6 yards apart. Najee Harris has 499 yards rushing, tied for 23rd in the NFL. Right behind him at 493 yards rushing is Warren, 25th in the NFL. He's averaging 6.2 a carry. He's had a lot fewer carries. He's got 80 carries compared to Harris's 128. He's averaging 6.2. 74-yard touchdown he had last week is his long of the season. Both of them have rushed for 6 touchdowns. The Steelers want to run the football. The Bengals are going to have to control that running game and make the quarterback Pickett one-dimensional. On the flip side of it, the Cincinnati Bengals have to run the football and give Jake Browning a balanced attack. They have to be productive, efficient in that running game. Right now, the Cincinnati Bengals are struggling running the football, 30th in the NFL, 80.9 yards per rushing attempt, and they're 3.9 per carry, which is 26th in the NFL. They've had difficulty stopping the run. Defensively, the Bengals have here lately, especially the 31st in the league, allowing over 138 yards on the ground, 5 yards a carry, 31st in the league. That's going to be a big deal in this football game, which will they be able to get Joe Mixon off a little bit on the ground attack to balance what Jake Browning's going to try to do throwing the football. Will the Bengals be able to control Harrison Warren a little bit and put more pressure on the quarterback, Pickett, and see if they can make them one-dimensional and see if the Bengals can make themselves more balanced? That's going to be a big factor in this football game. Next thing is explosives. Got to diffuse the explosives. Got to minimize the big plays. There's no doubt about it. In the last 2 games, Houston had 9 plays of 20 yards or more. 9 of them. Baltimore followed it up with 7 plays of 20 yards or more against the Cincinnati Bengals defense. 16 plays of 20 yards or more in the last 8 quarters isn't going to cut it. You can't let Pickett and company be explosive like that. You have to play better top-down defense and eliminate those explosive plays, yards after catch, and try to create a few more of them offensively. That would be a big help. If Jake Browning didn't have to go on 12 play drives for a touchdown, if he could be a 6 or 7 play drive for a touchdown, that would be helpful as well. The Cincinnati Bengals find themselves in the bottom third of way too many categories, offensively and defensively. So with a quarterback making his first NFL start, you have to up the ante a little bit. How about becoming a top 15 offense and a top 15 defense instead of an offense and a defense in all these categories that are rated number 27 to 32? How about being rated 12 to 15? That means that in order to support your quarterback making his first NFL start, every position group has to play at a higher level. And it starts with one-on-one battles. If I'm an offensive lineman and I fit and finish in the running game and I block my guy more than he beats me and gets off of my block, and then the whole unit, as a result, starts doing that and wins the run blocking game, that's going to help the football team. If you're good in your pass protection, taking good sets, using your hands, your feet are good, your hands are good, and you can give extra protection to Jake Browning, if I can do that in my one-on-one matchups more than he beats me on a pass rush, he's getting paid too. He's going to win some, but I have to win more. Everybody in the offensive line does that. They win the run game. They win the pass protection. All of a sudden, Jake Browning's going to find life easier. Receivers run sharp, crisp routes, get more separation. That's going to help Jake Browning. What I'm saying is, on a position group, on an individual basis, win more of your one-on-one matchups than you lose, and then your unit, your whole position group is going to win matchups. And then that's going to elevate the football team to being a top 15 offense and defense rather than a bottom 25 to 32 offense, defense in terms of productivity. That's what has to happen. Everybody has to have the mindset to do a little bit more to make life easier for Jake Browning. Don't heap it all on his shoulders like you have to lead us to the promised land, Jake. No, give him a path. Give him a course to follow. In a football game like this, it's going to be physical, sure tackling. Don't have a bunch of missed tackles. The last 2 weeks, the Bengals defense is back up to double digits in missed tackles. Can't have that. Have to have a handful or less of missed tackles. You're going to miss some. Again, they get paid too, but you can't have 10 to 12 missed tackles in a football game. And the best way to do it is gang tackle. Gang tackle. Get a bunch of bodies to the football. Don't leave a teammate out there in a one-on-one situation in space. That's tough. That's a tough matchup in the National Football League. When you are the first man there, though, make sure you get your head across the body, slam your shoulder in there. Don't be reaching out and trying to grab an arm tackle. Gang tackle. And if on the flip side of it, if the Bengals skill people find themselves one-on-one in space, make them miss. Get yards after catch, yards after contact. That's going to be big in a football game like this. And then finally, special teams. Man, it's going to be massive. Field position is going to be monstrous in this type of football game. It could be a low-scoring game, so every possession is going to be vital. If your average drive start is better than the Pittsburgh Steelers is on a possession-by-possession basis, you have a better chance to win the football game, plain and simple. The punters, their numbers are staggeringly similar. I mean, ridiculous. They're both averaging 44.8 per punt. They're both averaging 40.3 net, the exact same numbers on 48 punts, the exact same number of punts. But the big difference, Robbins is +7 in terms of down inside the 20 and touchbacks. He's +7. Harvin is +18. Harvin is tied for best in the National Football League in the differential of downing punts inside the 20, which he has 20 of those, and he only has 2 touchbacks. That +18 has been big for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's pinning the opponent back, making them go long field. Bengals, Robbins has to do that. And then punt return, kickoff return. The Bengals have to get better returns than the Pittsburgh Steelers. They have to win the hidden yards, the field position, the average drive start. And it's going to be very, very interesting because these two special teams coaches, Danny Smith has been in Pittsburgh forever. Darren Simmons has been in Cincinnati forever. These two have the utmost respect for each other. What do they have in store? Maybe a little bit of a fake punt, fake field goal. You always have something in the holster. Will they have to pull it out? We'll see. But all of these things are going to be big. You have to handle things on all 3 phases, offense, defense, and the all-important special teams, which dictates field position. Going to be big in this football game. Hidden yards, turnovers, big in division rivalries. Dave Lapham here, and every day I am grateful for my experience to have played professional football. As a player, I realize self-motivation, leadership, and appreciating your teammates are key. At First Star Logistics, you can use those same attributes to create the life you want for you and your family. Build your future by working hard like I did. You'll see results both on and off the field. Call First Star Logistics today and be part of our winning team.
Opportunity knocking.